Welcome to ZoomInData. In this video, we cover Power Apps interview questions, architect level and scenario-based concepts. This topic is designed for senior developers, leads, and architects who want to understand how Power Apps solutions are designed at enterprise scale. In this video, you will learn how to design Power Apps for large user bases, architecture decisions for scalability, security, and performance, governance, maintainability, and long-term strategy, real-world enterprise design thinking used by architects. This video is extremely useful for interviews, real-time projects, and system design discussions. 1. How would you design a Power Apps solution for 10,000 plus users? The first step is choosing Dataverse as the core data platform, because it supports enterprise-level security, performance, and concurrency. The app architecture must be modular, separating UI, business logic, and data access to avoid tight coupling. Delegation, pagination, and optimized queries must be planned from day one to handle large data volumes. Governance, monitoring, and ARM pipelines are mandatory at this scale. 2. What factors influence architecture decisions in Power Apps? User volume, data complexity, and performance expectations strongly influence architecture choices. Security requirements such as role-based access, auditing, and compliance must be considered early. Integration needs with APIs, legacy systems, or external platforms affect design. Long-term maintainability and scalability are more important than quick delivery. 3. How do you decide between Dataverse and external databases? Dataverse is preferred when strong security, relationships, and governance are required. External databases are considered when data already exists or when specialized processing is needed. Integration complexity, licensing cost, and performance expectations influence the decision. Architects often use Dataverse as the core and external systems for specialized workloads. 4. How would you handle high availability requirements? Use Dataverse and Microsoft Managed Infrastructure to benefit from built-in availability. Design apps to handle transient failures gracefully with retries and fallback logic. Avoid single points of failure such as hard-coded dependencies. Monitor uptime and failures continuously. 5. What strategies ensure scalability in Power Apps solutions? Use delegation-friendly queries and avoid loading unnecessary data. Separate concerns using multiple apps or components instead of one massive app. Design data models that scale well with growth. Apply governance and performance testing early. 6. How do you design for long-term maintainability? Use clear naming conventions, documentation, and modular design. Centralize business logic where possible instead of duplicating it. Follow ARM practices with dev, test, and prod environments. Keep architecture simple and predictable. 7. How would you manage Power Apps across multiple regions? Use centralized governance with region-specific environments. Ensure data residency and compliance requirements are respected. Standardize architecture patterns across regions. Monitor performance and usage per region. 8. What risks exist in enterprise Power Apps adoption? App sprawl due to uncontrolled citizen development. Security risks from poor data access control. Performance degradation at scale. Lack of ownership and support structure. 9. How do you align Power Apps with enterprise architecture standards? Follow existing security, data, and integration standards. Use approved connectors and platforms only. Involve enterprise architects early in design decisions. Ensure Power Apps complements, not replaces, core systems. 10. How would you design governance for a large organization? Create a center of excellence, model. Define clear policies for environments, connectors, and data access. Monitor app usage and enforce lifecycle management. Balance innovation with control. 11. What trade-offs exist between flexibility and control? Too much flexibility increases security and maintenance risks. Too much control slows innovation and adoption. Architects must define boundaries that allow safe flexibility. Governance should guide, not block, development. 12. How would you handle frequent requirement changes? Design apps to be configurable rather than hard-coded. Use environment variables and modular logic. Maintain strong communication with business users. Use agile iteration instead of large releases. 13. How do you design secure Power Apps solutions? Enforce data-level security using Dataverse roles. Avoid relying only on app-level checks. Apply DLP policies and environment isolation. Regularly review access and permissions. 14. How would you approach migration from legacy systems? Analyze existing data and business rules first. Migrate in phases instead of Big Bang approach. Validate data integrity after migration. Run parallel systems during transition if needed. 15. What decisions have the biggest impact on performance? Choice of data source and data model. Delegation handling and query design. UI complexity and control usage. Startup logic and data loading strategy. 16. How do you ensure consistency across multiple apps? Use shared components and common data models. Apply design standards and templates. Centralize reference data. Enforce governance and reviews. 17. How would you handle ownership and support transitions? Maintain proper documentation and solution structure. Assign clear ownership roles. Ensure knowledge transfer during transitions. Avoid dependency on single individuals. 18. What architectural mistakes are costly to fix later? Poor data modeling decisions. Ignoring delegation early. Hard-coding environment-specific values. Skipping governance and ARM. 19. How do you future-proof Power Apps solutions? Design for scalability and change. Avoid tight coupling with external systems. Keep architecture simple and modular. Stay aligned with platform evolution. 20. How do you evaluate success of enterprise Power Apps initiatives? Adoption rate and user satisfaction. Reduction in manual processes. Stability and performance metrics. Long-term maintainability. 21. How would you design disaster recovery strategies? Use Microsoft managed backups. Document recovery procedures. Test recovery plans periodically. Minimize dependency on manual recovery steps. 22. What role does documentation play in architecture? It ensures continuity and knowledge sharing. Helps during audits and support. Reduces onboarding time for new team members. Prevents architecture drift. 23. How do you manage technical debt at scale? Identify and prioritize debt early. Refactor incrementally instead of ignoring issues. Enforce standards and reviews. Balance speed with quality. 24. What interview questions test architect-level thinking? Scenario-based design questions. Trade-off and decision-making questions. Scalability and governance discussions. Long-term impact analysis. 25. What separates good Power Apps architecture from great architecture? Good architecture works today. Great architecture scales, adapts, and remains maintainable. Great architects think beyond the app into the ecosystem. Long-term value defines great architecture. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe to ZoomInData. If you want real-time projects, contact ZoomInData. And if you want more questions on real-time projects, contact ZoomInData.